Hey everyone, what's up? So I did this video yesterday and it came out terrible, so we're just gonna do it again, a little bit less awkward hopefully, and we'll see if it comes out a little better. I added a mic here because the audio sounded terrible before, so we'll see how it goes. But without any further ado, I'm ready to start my 3-part series on my beginner's guide to concert photography. I'm gonna be covering everything you need to do before the show, during the show, after the show, whatever you might need to know, all the basics to get into concert photography. When I was first getting going, I felt like there just wasn't a lot of this out there. So hopefully learning my experience will help you guys get ready for your concert experiences. So first off, getting right into it, we gotta make sure we have permission to shoot the show. So this can happen a couple different ways. First off, if it's a smaller show, if it's a local show, which are probably their best bets for beginning, you probably don't need a photo pass. You can check by calling the venue, trying to figure out what they need. But most likely, if it's a local show, if there's some of your friends playing, if it's a very small venue, you're probably good to just bring your camera in and shoot, no problem. If it's a bigger venue, if it's a bigger show and you do need a photo pass though, your best bet is to reach out to the artist's management. So to do this, you want to go to their Facebook page, you want to go to the About section, and then you'll see like a press contact. Sometimes it says publicity agent. Anything like that is the best person to contact. If they don't have a press contact, you could try the GM. But usually the GM is just not the best person to help you. So if you go to the Facebook and there isn't a press contact, you could just try Googling the band. Sometimes there's like a record label that they're on that has some press information out there, or maybe the press agency themselves is listed somewhere. You probably could find an email for the band if you just Google around enough. If you know the band personally, you could try reaching out to them, but for the most part, management is the best way to go. Like I said, if you're really good friends with the band, maybe that works, but if you don't know them very well, messaging them online most likely won't work. So when you're emailing management, you want to make sure that email is concise, you want to make sure it's polite, and these people get so many emails all day, they just don't have time to read long emails. So when you're sending it to them, make sure you say who you are, what you do, what show it is, when the show is, where the show is, and then just something nice. So be polite, say, hi, how's your day going? My name is Peter, I'm a concert photographer from Connecticut. I'd like to shoot this band on this day at this venue. Let me know if you're able to accommodate a photo pass and ticket. So you send the email, goes great. Problem is, you probably won't hear anything back, which is frustrating, right? So you're gonna send out way more emails than you get back. The key is to just keep trying. So you always wanna try the headliner first. They're the most likely to help you. But if that doesn't work, try emailing other bands on the bill and hopefully someone can get you in. Ultimately, managers are really busy. They might not always say no. Sometimes they won't accept it if you don't have a press credential with you, if you don't have a press outlet to shoot for. But sometimes they'll tell you that, sometimes I'll just ignore the email altogether and you'll go from there. But keep trying, you will get your photo pass eventually, and then you're in business. Quick tip though, when you get your photo pass, make sure it has a ticket, or if you need to buy one, because there have been so many times where I've arrived to a show, I thought I had a ticket, I didn't, and then I had to buy one at the door, which works, but if the show is sold out, then you're in trouble. Then you have to try and buy one from someone else who's there, you have to try and buy one online, you have to try and find someone to be kind and let you in without a ticket. Something has to give there, and that's just messy. So always just be clear on if you have a ticket or if you need to buy one. Usually they'll tell you in the email, but if you're not sure, just ask. Make sure you're clear ahead of time so that if the show does sell out, you're not screwed. You get your pass, you figured out if you have a ticket and all. Next thing you want to start doing a couple days before the show is researching the band online. So you want to try and figure out what kind of pictures they're posting, how they want to look. You know, are they trying to be colorful? Are they trying to be in black and white? Are they trying to be energetic? Are they goofy? Do they just want super professional? Do they like crowd shots? Like, there are so many things that bands could be looking for. And if you know what the band wants, then you're able to create that content and then have a better chance of getting shared, getting supported by the band. Whatever your goal is with the photos, it's just easier if you already know the band is gonna like the pictures. The flip side of this is that if you shoot something that doesn't match the band style at all, they're probably not gonna use it. And so for a little bit, Paris was going in full black and white, and I would see people posting photos in color. And it's great. I think you should always use your own artistry, and if that's how you creatively want to do it, that works. But if your goal is to get them shared by Paris, that's not gonna work, because they're just posting these heavy contrast black and white images, which are incredible, and that's just their image. That's how they wanted to represent themselves at that time, and that's important. So just try and cater what you're doing towards the band's image, and that'll help you get shares, get followers, get whatever you're looking for. All right, so when the day of the show comes around, first thing you wanna do is figure out when doors are and when you need to leave to get there. I don't know why it happens, but I feel like the more important the show is, the more likely you are to run into some traffic or something dumb along the way, which Makes no sense, but it always seems to happen that way. So make sure you're leaving with plenty enough time to get there, because if you're late to the show you're hired to work, that is just a bad look, and it's not something that press contacts are going to be giving you passes for to do again. So you want to make sure you're on time, you want to make sure you get your pass. So to get your pass, you want to get to the venue and go to will call. Will call should have the passes available right when doors open, so go to check as soon as you can. Hopefully it's there, and usually it is, but every once in a while something goes wrong and it's not. So for the pass to get to will call for you, it has to go from your request to the press contact. The press contact will pass it off to an on-site contact, who's usually like the tour manager or sometimes it's someone in the band, and then that person will pass it off to the venue, to the person in the will call, and then will call can give you the pass. If your pass isn't there, it's probably just that one of those people forgot to give someone, forgot to send a text, forgot to add another name to the list, and it's probably pretty simple. So if your pass isn't there, just pull up the emails you had when you got the pass from the confirmation emails and look for a phone number to call. So hopefully you can call someone, get in touch with them, and they can help you resolve it pretty quickly. The other thing to remember is that when you get to the venue and you're all excited for the show and you're ready to go and the pass isn't there, it can be so frustrating to just be sitting there. Sometimes it's cold, it's raining, whatever, and you're outside, and it's pretty miserable. But the big thing is to remember that the people who are there really just can't help you. So you want to make sure you're being nice to all the venue staff there, because they'll do their best to help you, but if you're being crummy, they will not do that. So the will call people, the security people, they can't help you get your pass. They really can't talk to the bands. They just don't have that access. So make sure that you're being angry at the right people if something doesn't work out, but if it doesn't work out, just try and go with it. A lot of times venue staff are understanding because they see it happen all the time, and they'll do their best to accommodate you and help you out, but just be friendly, try and make it work, and everyone's doing their job, everyone's doing their best, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so hopefully you iron all that out and you're able to get in the venue. Once you are inside, just take the time to explore the venue. Just see what the show is going to look like when everyone's going, see what the lights are going to look like, try and figure out where CO2 cannons are, or maybe where a good balcony is that you want to shoot from. All of these things are just good to know before the show starts. I also like to go to the photo pit and see what it looks like. Hopefully it's big enough, but sometimes it's like 1 foot wide, and it's just nice to know that you're walking into a space that is way too small for as many people are going to be there. But whatever, you deal with it, you shoot. It's part of the game. The other thing to do before the band goes on is make sure your gear is all set to go. So I like to format all my memory cards, double check batteries, make sure I'm good, maybe throw a battery on a charger if I have access to one and need to charge up. Whatever, just make sure that once the band goes on, you are ready to do your job, your camera's all set up, your lens is attached, all the bodies are good, whatever you need to check, just make sure it's all set to go. Because once the band starts, you get your 3 songs in the pit and then you're out. So there's not a lot of time for adjustments once the band starts. Alright, so once you're in, you're all settled in, it's just wait for the show. So once the band goes on, just focus on your art, try and get the photos, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next video. We're going to be talking about life in the photo pit, networking, and the actual techniques for taking the photos on your camera. So that's going to be like ISO, networking will be good ways to meet people, and we'll go from there. So hopefully this helped you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in part 2.